Hey gang, Boy here. So, a question just came in through Clan Chat, and I always have a problem typing out thoughtful responses in Clan Chat, only because typing on a tablet's not exactly the most useful use of your time or productive use of your time. Anyway, unpopular lizard, new member, was just asking for some quick comments on his base. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, before I load this, I just want to note this is out on the internet, so anyone who's looking either at this channel or at your base is probably going to know everything about your base. So I hope that you take whatever comments that I share with you, that you take that into consideration as you're considering changing out your base and moving some of your traps and things around. Because the last thing we would need is an attacker knowing exactly where all your bombs are. So let's go ahead and take a look. And again, just one other caveat: these are just my opinions. Seek other people's opinions. Check to see what other bases have worked. I'm definitely not the be-all, end-all in terms of base design, but I will share some of the best practices that I have learned in this time. So let's go ahead and take a look at your base. Now, if I was an attacker and I was looking for, quick and easy win, one of the first things that I would look at, and this is just coming from a farming perspective, is that your base is compact. It's in a classic diamond formation. You do have funnels, so as an attacker, I would be searching for the nearest junction to go and attack with the wall breaker to avoid the funnels. So I wouldn't be dropping any giants around here. I would probably be attacking from over here and sending in wall breakers to go attack that junction right there, along with these junctions over here. These are pretty popular spots to start attacks in those corners, because what that gets you access to is a pretty direct vector into the core of the base by taking out this, and this, and then if you're lucky, a fourth. They'd get access to the core of your base. They'd still have to get past the other triangulated defenses, but your walls are in really good shape. When I see that your defenses are about as upgraded as they possibly can be, with the exception of your cannons and your archers. But those are pretty easy. Your walls are in great shape. The pink walls, the level 6 walls, will definitely have to come up to level 7, and you'll find that will deter a lot of attacks, or at least force your attackers to use some of their best attacks just to get at your base. So. The only issue that I have with typical grid-based designs like this are these junctures here. These are what we call X junctions, and the problem with these is that even though they are deep inside the base, your typical raid package is going to have anywhere from 8 to 10 wall breakers, and that's to counter defenses specifically like this. And the problem with these X junctions is that once a wall breaker gets past 1, 2, 3, then they hit this fourth, and then they immediately get access to both the core of the base as well as some additional storage components. Now that's if they're lucky. It's extremely difficult to get 8 wall breakers to do anything you want them to do. So there's no guarantee that could even work. And if the attacker was smart, they'd send in one giant to test for traps, possibly a second one to grab the second, and then they'd be off and running. Now, the interesting thing about these giant bombs, for a farming and trophy configuration, these are fine. In clan wars, the requirements change a little bit, only because there's typically 3 expectations for attacks that are going to come against you, that are going to be deployed against you. And of course, it all depends on what the attacker's level is. But let's take the worst case scenario. You've got a Town Hall 9 attacking you. You're going to get one of 3 attacks. It's either going to be mass dragons, mass hogs, or some combination of high-level giants, like level 6 giants, along with a full complement of wizards, and possibly even some hogs. So these funnels will definitely help in those situations, and you've got good placement for your Teslas, as well as some follow-up traps, but part of the problem here is that the base is so compact that once they get past some of the periphery, they're going to be able to get access to a lot of different compartments simply because of these X junctures. Now, the best recommendation that I can make is to take a look at some of the shuriken-based designs. there's about 7 or 8 different derivatives of them, and the basic design that you have here is actually uh, pretty close to a couple of those shuriken derivatives. And really, what it is it's taking this second layer of components and kind of shifting them, shifting them a couple squares over. And what that does is it creates it gets rid of your X and your T junctions for one thing, and it makes it much harder for them to punch in. But the other nice thing about those is that they also have a tendency to path the attackers around the side of the base. Something like this would be a really easy 2-star, just for an attack from the north. Clear out these trash buildings on the side, start deploying wall breakers, and then a complement of archers will sit, or wizards will sit right in this compartment, picking away at your town hall, and it's game over. So, I mean, that's one of the problems with these compact base designs. They're extremely vulnerable to mass dragon attacks because the dragons don't have very far to go. For mass hogs, there are very few town hall 8 bases out there that can resist mass hogs, and only in the case where you use every single one of your traps in a thoughtful way to defeat as many of them as possible. But even then, I mean, if somebody comes at you with 34 level 4 hogs or level 5 hogs, I mean, it's game over. I think the point there is to go for the Pyrrhic victory, which is to make your opponent spend as many resources as possible to take you out. But if you can hold them to 1 or 2 stars, it's always great. Now, like I said, having said that, test the base. Run up into gold 2 and gold 3 with a full load of storages and see what happens. It's worth it to go to that level to see how your base will do. So sit in gold 1 or gold 2 like a sitting duck and see where people attack from. Do it over a couple of nights and just make note of where the attacks are going to be coming in from. Now, even at that level, they're still going to be going for your resources, but the attacks will more or less come in from the north because the funnels are a little more manageable on the top. Obviously my choice for attack would be from the bottom left hand, and that would only be in the case where I had really, really heavy assets to go and attack this base. So I mean, overall, it's like I said, your defenses are in great shape. Your walls are in really great shape. You've got a little bit further to go, but you're on your way. I guess as you're upgrading your Teslas, that'll give you a lot of downtime to go work on your walls, and that's one of the reasons why I chose to work on mine a little bit earlier because I just didn't want to have to deal with that. I just ripped the Band-Aid off and get going. So yeah, that's it. And again, just my opinion. I'm far from the last authority on what these are, and I am always interested to hear in some of the opinions of the other clan members. So go ahead and post it in the comments, and let's see what we can do to help Lizard's base design. But otherwise, yeah, good job, and looking forward to seeing some replays. Thanks.